I'm Dave Donaldson, welcome to Grip Tips. Today we're talking about controlling the light with scrims. So scrims come in all different shapes and sizes, but we're just going to talk about the round ones today because I think that most of you, if you've ever looked inside of an ARRI kit, have probably seen these. It's a way of knocking the light down without losing the color temperature or the intensity of the light. Now, could you use a dimmer instead? Yes, absolutely you could. But the problem is that in a lot of dimmers, and especially the ones that you make at home, you actually change the color temperature as you're turning the light down. Another option that you could do is you could back the light up. But let's be honest, a lot of lighting equipment, with as big as it is, you don't really have that type of room all the time. So enter scrims. So now let's talk about the two most basic ways to identify what type of scrim that you need. If somebody asks for a double scrim, it's pretty simple. It's got a red rim around it. And if they ask for a single, it's got a green rim around it. The difference is the single scrim will bring the light down 0.5 or half of a stop. A double scrim will bring the light down one full stop. So now here's a quick side-by-side example. The light that I have on the left has nothing in front of it. The light on the right has a single in it. Still don't see the difference? Let's drop a double in instead. You see, the detail is coming back and the top chop flag that we added to the light is still a very hard chop. Now there's different terms with using scrims. I mean, we know that this is a single and we know that this is a double, but what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that? Baseball. And they're placed exactly the same way. Now, in terms of bases in baseball, there are 4 bases, right? For every base, there's a half stop of light for the hitter to get to. There's single, double, triple, and home run. Now, if I add a single and a double to a light, I'll have a triple because we have 3 half stops cutting the light down. If I add one more single to the light, then I have a home run because now there are 4 half stops cutting the light down. 4 half stops, 4 bases, home run. So here's a quick quiz. If I put 2 doubles in front of a light, what do I have? Home run, because each double has 1 full stop of light in it. And the term double means 2 half stops or 1 full stop of light, right? But since we have 2 doubles, that means we have 4 half stops or 2 full stops of light cut down. 4 half stops, 4 bases, home run. Okay, so briefly I just want to show how you actually put a scrim inside of a light. If you've ever seen a light like this, make sure that you have a pair of gloves because this gets really hot really quick and you don't want to burn your hands. Placing a scrim inside of a light is pretty simple. You're always going to look at the top here. There's always going to be a little knob that you pull up on and you're going to turn to the side. Now that opens up this little gap right in front of the light, and that's exactly where our scrims go. So if I slide the double in there, it'll sit perfectly in there. And if I want to keep adding more to make a triple, that's what I do, slide in another single. I could probably add 1 more scrim in there if I want a home run, but that's what I'll leave for right now. And then you just close it back up again, same way that you opened it. Now those scrims inside of the light, along with the barn doors, are not going anywhere. It's completely locked in. Okay, now to get the scrims out, if I'm done using the light, what I'll do is turn the light off first. That's the first thing that I'll go for. The second thing that I'll go for is I'll actually lift this open and twist it, and then I'll grab a pair of pliers to actually grab the scrims because it's kind of difficult to get your hands down there, especially with gloves. But even if you didn't have any gloves, that would be a second way that you could grab them. But now you got the scrims. And then lastly, obviously, just make sure that this is closed. If you don't close this after you take the scrims out, the barn doors will fall off. That's the other thing that's being held by this little lock. So make sure that's down. But that is all that I have for you guys today with scrims and their terminology. I will be going over other types of scrims such as flags and nets, but that'll have to do for now. If you guys have any questions or you just want to say hey, you can follow me on my Twitter right here, or you could leave a comment in the comment box below. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and until then, we will see you next week, every Friday, right here on Grip Tips.